Hi, my name is Alicia, and this is my grandmother. This presentation is dedicated to her. This is Rosa. Rosa'S Revelations. All of us have family stories and heirlooms that help to portray our past. Combining these items with genealogical and historical records enables us to trace back and add detail and texture to our rich ancestry. It's like traveling through a wrinkle in time. I am going to focus on Elizabeth Hurt. Elizabeth, also known as Betsy, and her husband Adam are my 2 times great-grandparents on my father's maternal line. They represent my ties to Greene County, Georgia, and my brick wall. This is the point at which I'm currently stuck. In the 1860s, Greene County, Georgia was a hotbed. 1864, some of General Sherman's troops briefly occupied Greensboro. 1865 marked the end of the Civil War. 1867, Adams signs the return of qualified voters and Reconstruction oath. 1868, Georgia was the last Confederate state readmitted to the Union. Many blacks moved to Greensboro and formed a community known as Canaan, which became a center of black activism. Georgia blacks elected a slate of black Republican candidates. The population of approximately 12,000 was comprised of 8,000 blacks. 33 of the 197 voted into the General Assembly. The original 33 were black. 24 were ministers. The decrease in crop production was tremendous. 700,000 bales of cotton produced in 1860 dwindled to 50,000 in 1865. Corn and wheat production decreased too. Whites moved quickly to return blacks to their subordinate civic and socio-economical positions. Beatings, home burnings, and murders ensued. The Ku Klux Klan thwarted the promise of Reconstruction. This is the backdrop in which Betsy and Adam find themselves. Yes, they were no longer slaves, but now they faced the task of making a way out of no way. July 18, 1868, Betsy Hurt had reached her limit. She filed a complaint with the Freedmen's Bureau. William Partee, white. The complaint reads, William Partee, white, owes Betsy Hurt, colored, for the balance of 6 bushels and 19 pounds of corn due her since 1867. It was decided the defendant delivered to the plaintiff the unit of corn claimed. The victory was short-lived. Unfortunately, the Hurt family receives a visit from the Klan. Betsy stands her ground. She is brave and bodacious. Her will is unfettered. She files another complaint to the Freedmen's Bureau. Here's the letter. Personally came before me John H. Sullivan, Agent, Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen and Abandoned Lands, Betsy Hurt, colored, who, being sworn, says that a short time after the settlement of the case of herself and Mr. W. H. Partee before the agent B. N. Frith, that night, about 12 or 1 o'clock, a party of men on horseback, disguised, came to her house, broke her door open, and took her husband, Adam Hurt, out about 100 yards from the house and beat him in such a manner that he is not expected to live. That the said party, Sarah Hurt, ran out in her night clothes and caused her to fall several times, in consequence of which she is expecting to have a miscarriage and in all probability cause of death. That this happened about 5 miles from Penfield, Greene County. That the said party intended to kill every damn Republican in this county. That the colored people in her settlement are afraid for their lives unless the military afford them protection, as the civil officers are either afraid or not supposed to do their duty. That the said party went to the sister's house, so frightened that she is entirely out of her mind. What happened to Adam, Sarah, and Betsy? This is the 1870 census we're looking at. Adam and Betsy appear. Adam is a farmer, 60 years old. Betsy, 50, and a homemaker. 5 children were in the house. Ida, age 12, was my great-grandmother. Living next door, Albert and Sarah and their daughter Isabella. This is the Sarah that was pregnant when she came to try and rescue Adam from his beating. Sarah and Albert The 1880 census provides us with more of the story. Betsy is widowed and is the head of household. Sarah and Albert are in Union Point, living next door to Sarah's siblings. Their daughter Frances was born in 1869 and has a little brother, Cicero. What made Betsy so resilient? Was it 40 years of slavery? Had emancipation opened new doors? Or was it faith? All of us like to think in the most trying times we will meet the moment and stand up for what is just. I don't know if I have that tenacity. All right, let's review my pedigree. This is Elizabeth and Adam Hurt. They had my great-grandmother, Ida. Ida had my grandmother, Rosa. Rosa had my father, Albert. And here I am, Alicia. This is my grandmother, Rosa, again. And her mother, Ida. Prior to my grandmother Rosa's death, she was asked to write down everything she could about her family. This is what she shared in that letter that I just passed through. Betsy Hurt had 25 kids. In her later years, she lived alone. She died sitting in a rocking chair. God showed this to Mama in a dream, so Mama woke up her kids, Ida and Harvey, at 2 a.m. to go see about Grandma Betsy. Sure enough, she was dead, sitting in a rocking chair. Grandma Betsy lived in Greensboro, Georgia. Her mother was white. I would approximate her death to be in the early 1900s. I have been researching genealogy about 20 years, and so far I can only find 11 of Betsy and Adam's kids. This is a result of 1870s being the first census blacks were counted on. courthouse fires, and official records being mishandled. It is a real challenge to research our history. I encourage you all to gather as much information from your relatives while you can. Don't get interested too late. You will lose invaluable resources. I have a quote from Kathy Boyce. I look back and see how we've become who I am by a family that found sweetness and joy somewhere inside when life's experiences tasted bitter. This is one of Ida's daughters, one of my grandmother's older sisters, Josephine. And that's it. Thank you for listening.